Hello.
Hi,
It's nice to see you, Carlie.
you as well, Mia.
And for anybody that's tuning in to our broadcast, this is the first of many Friday weekly designer chats we're going to be broadcasting live here on Facebook. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for joining. We're really excited to have you guys here. Given the current state of affairs, things are kind of weird, right? We have a new normal. We're operating in a way that is not what we're used to. In any given normal workday, we'd be in our showroom. We'd be working our desks, and Carlie and I would be sitting next to each other, and I'd be bugging her, and I'm sure she misses that a lot. But our showroom is not open, sadly, and we have a brand new showroom that we're really excited to share with everybody. But in the meantime, we decided to put ourselves out here in this way so that we can discuss some design topics. We can be here for questions, and we can engage with you guys. We keep saying we're trying to continue business as unusual. So this is clearly an unusual way for us to be conducting business, but here we are. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, instead of our showroom, we can meet right here in my master bedroom. So that's comfortable for everyone.
We should maybe change the name to something about, hanging out in the bedroom with Carlie. And
That's right.
Might be a little weird. Maybe we'll keep it what it is. But yeah, my name's Mia Farrell, and I'm a designer with ACO. I have been in the industry for 8 years or so. I've been with ACO for a couple months, but I think all of us would agree that the past couple months have felt like an eternity. Things have been very strange, and our team has done a lot to adapt and change things. And I'm really proud to be a part of this team and really happy to be working with the people that I work with. And I just saw that Erin suggested we should call this Pillow Talk with Mia and Carlie. Love it. Thanks, Erin. So Carlie, you want to introduce yourself for anybody that doesn't know you?
Sure. I'm Carlie Susky. I've been in the design industry for, probably 15 plus years now. And I've worked with ACO for almost a decade. So I would say I do a lot of remodel work, but have a lot of primary focus on cabinetry, help a lot of builders and designers, and of course, homeowners through that process.
Yeah. Cabinet queen.
That's right.
Well, I am thrilled that you're sitting here with me virtually and really excited to be engaging with everybody in this way. For anybody that's tuning in that is not familiar with our company, we are ACO, and we are here to help you love where you live, whether it is a full-scale interior remodel, kitchen or bath facelift, flooring installation. We're here for any and all of it. And today we're going to talk a little bit about why you should tackle that remodel that you've been considering. We've got a lot of reasons that people call, and we hear a lot from people about what projects they want to tackle and why. So there's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot to discuss. One of the things that I want to dive into first, and our producer Shane is going to help us with this, we're going to show you a tool that's on our website. This is our budget calculator. And this is important. Obviously, budget is a big part of it. But I think that we get a lot of questions, and Carlie can attest to this too, a lot of questions and concerns from homeowners about making sure that they don't put more money into their home than they're going to get back out of it. You have any comments about that, Carlie?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big concern. And I think that this tool is so helpful. It's a very versatile tool. So if you look on it, I went to grab my mouse like I'm controlling. But you're actually able to enter the value of your home. And then from there, you can start to adjust. It's got a sliding scale that you can move back and forth and adjust. So for example, demolition. Let's say that you're going to tackle a kitchen, but your husband's really handy and he wants to handle all the demolition. So, your demolition cost is going to be less than normal. So you can slide that scale down. Then moving on to mechanical, say you're doing that same kitchen, but you want to move the sink across the room and run a new gas line and completely redo all your can lights. That might go a little higher on the mechanicals because we're not just swapping things out for where they are today. And so on and so forth as you go through this list. You can detail out your cabinetry. Of course, that's my cup of tea, but maybe that's not as important to you. So you're willing, it's all about the look on the outside. So you're willing to go save a little bit of money there. You push that scale down. But yeah, that's one tool that the homeowners can use themselves to understand where they are and get comfortable with a budget. So
yeah, I mean, I think that it's important. It's a big part of it, what you're investing in your home, and we're always sensitive to the fact that you're investing your hard-earned money into this project. We want to make sure that we're working with homeowners as much as we can to be comfortable with their budget and comfortable with what they're spending. And have a good idea going into it of what a project's going to cost and what they should be investing. So it's definitely something that we take into consideration. But there's also a lot of reasons that people remodel for themselves. It's a very emotional thing. It's a very personal thing. I think you'd agree with me, Carlie, that when we go into somebody's house, I mean, we get real personal, especially especially when we're talking about somebody's bathroom. I mean, we get up in there. So I think that it's definitely an emotional process, and there's a lot of things that people take really seriously about their homes, and they're really affected by certain things. I'd like to put the question out there for anybody that's tuned in and able to leave comments for us. I'd love to hear what some of your favorite areas are in your house. Leave us a little note, and we can talk about some of those places. It might be your master bathroom. It might be that at the end of the day, you spend some time taking a nice long bath. If you have the space and the luxury of time to do so. Erin says her bathroom is her favorite space. Nice. Yeah, I think that, like I said, there's a lot of personal spaces in your home. It could be your kitchen, could be where you spend time maybe baking with your kids or entertaining friends. Maybe you've got a nice basement setup that's all finished out with a nice wet bar and theater space or something like that. Grace says she loves her bedroom. Lots of natural light, feels like a retreat from the outside world. Man, that is good stuff. It's nice to have that kind of escape. And I think that natural light is a huge thing. People are really affected by being able to get that vitamin D coming in when it's a nice sunny day. There's a lot of psychology in some of those things.
I would say that's one of the big things that our clients ask for. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the renovations that we do is the way to get more natural light in there, or better lighting in general. Whether we're converting to LED cans, which can start to mimic some of that natural light feel, adding task lighting in a kitchen, all those things can be big.
Yeah, lighting is huge. We had a kitchen project one time that we were working on where there was a wall separating the kitchen from the living room, and it was just kind of like a weird 4-foot wall. And it was one of those things that it would have been an insane amount of money to remove it, because it was, it was a structural thing. And so we removed as much of it as we could so that we could get more natural light into the living room, and then ended up still adding cans into the living room because the lighting was so important for those people to have in their home. So, I mean, lighting is huge, and there's lots of ways that we can do it. Like you said, task lighting, under cabinet lighting is really nice to have in a kitchen. All those things are important.
I also think your whole color palette can definitely convey that, if you have a dark stained kitchen right now, going to a white or a light paint in your finishes, it's amazing how refreshing that feels.
Absolutely. It can totally change the way your entire house feels.
Some of these comments are cracking me up. Sorry.
Feel free to call them out.
Keep reading. Apparently, David's favorite room is the doghouse. I'm sure you're familiar with being there, David.
Spending a lot of time there. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. It's funny. When I think about my favorite space in our house, I weirdly say dining room because we actually don't spend a lot of time in our dining room. We're not very formal people. But I like it just because I got, a nice new dining room table with cute chairs, and we got a nice shiplap wall. And I think a lot of it was because of the things that we put into it that were meaningful to me, and things that make me happy and things that make me feel good. So sometimes when I'm just sitting at the table, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this table so much. I love my chairs. I love the setup, and it makes me happy. So there's a lot of things to be said for being able to select those things in your home and, you know, do those kind of remodels, or even just a facelift, a little bit of an update, new furniture, paint colors, things like that, that can just make you happy.
Yeah, I have really strong feelings toward my laundry room. So, um, we redid my laundry room probably, I don't know, about 3 years ago. And prior to that, it was just horrible. They had it divided into two spaces. And I live in a very retro home. So I designed the cabinets to make sure that they looked like they came right out of the 60s.
Yes, that's awesome.
Put some hardware on it that was very retro. Thank you. Shout out to Diana at Ferguson.
All right.
Helped me with that hardware. And I just love that space. You know, that was one of the emotions that I was going to mention today, is like the excitement that remodeling a room can bring. I remember when I first did it for probably like a year and a half, every time I walked down the hallway and walked past that room, I was just like, ah. So it's bright. Everything in there is white except for the cabinets, which I did in like a really cool teal color.
Love
And
it.
it's just like such a cool room for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely think like the level of excitement that you can get for
Yes.
yourself out of a remodel,
Yeah.
budget and the money you spend on it. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
think
work hard, you deserve it. You know, you deserve to have that excitement. You deserve to have that. And I think that the laundry room sometimes gets underrated for how much it can affect. You actually spend quite a bit of time in your laundry room. So I think that it's an important space to feel good about.
I kind of wish I was sitting in there.
Maybe next time you should sit in there and show us what it looks like. Do a little virtual tour.
I know. Aaron's like, I need to see a picture. I'm like, don't challenge me. I will drag everyone to my laundry room.
Of a follow-up post, follow-up video with
yeah.
like MTV Cribs, maybe. Maybe that's the next thing we'll tackle.
Oh man.
Well,
Yeah.
so since we've got some people tuned in, I would also love to hear spaces that you guys are not super thrilled with. We're all stuck in our homes right now. I think that a lot of people are preferring to stay safe at home. I think that's a very nice sentiment. You're safe at home, but you're also in your house. And there might be a space that you're looking at and thinking, oh my gosh, if only I could just change it all. Or maybe there's something that's like stressing you out because it's cluttered, or maybe there's like a physical thing that is driving you nuts. Like our dishwasher is broken. That is driving me nuts. I would love it if we just completely tore everything out of our kitchen right now and redid it. That would make me super happy. Erin's kitchen is driving her nuts.
Ooh, we can help.
Do you need some cabinets from Carlie?
With that. Yeah. And for me, I would say mine is my master bathroom, because the previous owners were just, first of all, outlet and switch happy. So I'm not kidding. I think I have 12 or 13 switches in my bathroom.
Awesome. We have a very similar setup actually. And there's a lot of switches and outlets right outside the shower. I'm like, I feel like this is not correct. Grace says her master bathroom is driving her nuts. She said it's small and the shower and bathtub are so old, only one sink. Yep.
Ooh,
yeah.
Challenge.
That's tough. His and hers is really nice. We mentioned resale, his and her sinks. I mean, they're big. People really like to see that. So yeah, I think that having the space that you need to function, you know, you talked about your laundry room. I think that when you think about those kinds of spaces that you spend a lot of time in, like your master bathroom, your kitchen, your laundry room, you spend a lot of time doing activities in those spaces. And when you don't have the space that you need, it's very frustrating. And it can be one of those things that, like, especially on a day that you're already kind of stressed out, it can make you just go berserk. So, and Erin is asking if people are doing less bathtubs now. I do get a lot of requests for people saying, I never use my bathtub. Let's get it out of here and expand the shower. People are interested in getting as much elbow room as they can in their shower, or maybe even multiple shower heads and body sprayers and all that kind of stuff. So the shower footprint is starting to be a little bit bigger of an item than a nice big garden tub.
You're like a car wash that you can walk through. But we see that a lot where people are eliminating the tub. And I always ask, is there another bathtub in the home? Because that's going to be important for resale, especially if someone comes in with kids. But we are eliminating that. I also found it's the laundry basket for a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
Like throw their dirty clothes in.
Mm-hmm.
But
we get personal. Like I have been in multiple bathrooms where I walk in and the entire bathtub is full of dirty laundry. And I'm like, okay, I see why you want to get rid of this.
I've seen some doozies over the years, but we won't mention all of those. But yeah, the freestanding tub is huge.
Yeah.
It's such a focal point and really a piece of art.
Totally.
So I see that on the rise as well.
Yep, Danny.
Oh,
ask about freestanding tubs. We are fans. I agree with Carlie. It's such a nice focal point. There are so many beautiful designs and beautiful tub fillers, and like really cool ones that come out of the floor. And like you said, it's kind of an art piece. People will actually too use that as an opportunity to maybe do a feature behind the tub on the wall. There's lots of ways that we can highlight that and take up less floor space with the tub. It doesn't have to be a huge corner garden tub. We can take those things out, put in a smaller tub. Then you don't have to. The typical setup is like the garden tub that's huge in the corner and then the teeny tiny stand-up shower next to it. More often than not, that's what we're taking out. And that shower gets expanded as much as it can.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm in full support of that. So yeah, like thinking about the emotional impacts of those spaces. If anybody that commented with a space that's driving them crazy, or if you're thinking about one that you haven't shared with us, just take a minute to think about how it would feel if you were able to just like wave a wand and have something brand new. It feels really nice, right? You just said, Carlie, every time you walk by your laundry room for like a year after, you're still excited every day.
Yeah. We were talking about this yesterday, and it's also this sense of like, it's very invigorating. So, just when you like rearrange furniture in your living room and you're just like, oh my gosh, that feels so amazing. Why didn't I do this like 6 months ago? Imagine that on a larger level, right?
Yeah,
so you're
absolutely.
essentially rearranging your kitchen or your master bath, and that feeling of excitement and just new energy coming into the house, it totally changes everything.
Yeah, it really does. And it can be something small too that gives you that feeling of just being kind of reinvigorated with your space. I have had conversations with people when we're talking about tackling a kitchen remodel where I'll see the trash can off to the side and bring up the idea, okay, when we do your kitchen, I can get you a cabinet for your trash can. And the reaction, I swear, is always, oh my gosh, are you serious? Yes, absolutely. Let's get that cabinet, get it hidden. They make those and I can get you one. It's the little things too, it's like sometimes it's the entire space that makes you feel amazing. And then sometimes it's one little thing in that space that just makes you feel like you have a brand new house. And I think in this time too, and I'd love to hear from anybody that's tuned in of what they've done in their house, or if there's anything on the list that they're planning to tackle, even if it's something like one day I looked at our desk area and I was like, this is too cluttered. I need to just overhaul everything, and just went through it and threw a whole bunch of stuff away and just kind of reorganized it a little bit. And I had that feeling that you had with your laundry room where I was like, yeah, check that out. It's amazing. It looks so much better. It's so much more clean. I think I was like sending pictures to people like, look what I did today. So like you said, it's like when you have a remodel that you're able to tackle, you feel it on such a larger scale.
Yeah. And I think too, like some of the pride that you feel, that's another big emotion, like having your family and friends over, whether it's a holiday or a big event, and then you can show off this new space. Like, I think that's really cool. obviously I've done a lot of house tours where I lead people to my laundry room.
We start at the laundry room.
Actually, we'll start in the back of the house. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So,
we have a question from Cody that I'm really excited about. He's asking what our favorite wallpaper patterns are and how we would decorate a room with wallpaper. I think that brings up a really interesting point because I think that some of these things with remodeling too, a lot of focus can be like, okay, when we go to sell our house, what are people going to like? But I always encourage people like enjoy it while you're here. Do some things for you. See a lot of people requesting wallpaper in powder bathrooms. It's not as big of a commitment, and it's kind of a nice space to be able to show off. It's a bathroom that guests are going to use. It's a nice place to do an accent like that.
So once again, I totally want to drag this laptop through my house.
Show us your wallpaper.
When I did my son's room, it was a nursery at the time. We did one wall, an accent wall in wallpaper, and it's a loud pattern. But because it's a loud pattern, I just chose to do it on the one wall. And then I selected a paint that coordinated with that wallpaper. So the whole room wasn't so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a great point. Sometimes with patterns and wallpaper, it can be overwhelming. But then sometimes that is, the bold look you're going for. So Erin wants to know what the pattern is like.
Okay. I'm just going to get up, I guess.
Take us there.
So not scripted. I don't even know what kind of shit currently. So
it's a beauty.
That's kind of why I'm hesitant. No, I'm like, I don't want to show you the I think there's like folded everywhere. Let's see.
All right.
Let me turn on the lights. Oh my gosh, my son's room's kind of cool. But okay, so here's my son's wallpaper.
Oh, I love it.
Pretty funky. It goes with my retro theme. So
yes, I love it.
And then we just picked like a gray, which I'm not pointing in the right direction. A gray with it. So, but yeah,
I love
absolutely wallpaper.
Yes. Yay for wallpaper.
Yes.
It's so fun. Thanks for the crib tour, Carlie.
I know.
What do they say? I say, I'm Carlie Sutsky. This is my crib, or welcome to my crib.
Oh gosh.
Long time.
Too much of an old lady, I think, now for that.
Oh, well, thank you for the journey. I appreciate it. I hope that answers your question, Cody. We're not afraid of wallpaper. We're not afraid of wallpaper patterns. And I think, like, to Carlie's point, there are ways you can do it where it's just a little accent, just a little bit. I think that, in powder baths too, I've seen it on all walls. I've seen an accent wall like you talked about. I've seen, doing kind of like the lower half with chair rail and then paint on the top. There are ways that you can incorporate just a little bit if you're not super committed to going the whole 9 yards.
Do you remember me? I think you were with me. We went to check in on one of my projects and they had wallpapered the ceiling.
Yes, and it was so pretty.
So pretty. Shout out a couple of my designers that I work with, Tiffany Skilling and Becky Morrison. They did this project. It was beautiful. They did a Greek key textured black wallpaper on the ceiling. So
it was gorgeous. We walked in and we looked up and we were like, oh, that's awesome. And there were a lot of aspects of that house that were very, very well done. So I am with you on the shout out. Nice work, ladies. So yeah, I think that we've addressed a lot of reasons why, you would tackle something for yourself. Is there anything that we're not covering as far as, emotions that you can have when, yeah.
I've got some.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's a lot more.
Yeah. And anyone else, feel free to jump in. But I think, and especially during this time, people are going to realize like how disorganized parts of their house are. And that is a reason that we see, I think, a lot in the kitchen that people want that sense of organization. And once you achieve that, I think the feeling that you get is a sense of calm.
Oh, yes.
And that your efficiency will increase. So whether you're cooking and now all of a sudden you have your spices right beside you, or your cookie sheets are all organized. And I know I suffer from the OCD, but that just brings like a sense of calm.
Yes.
And, I'm sure Erin can attest to that too, since she does closets.
Right. Yeah, a place for everything, right? And
Absolutely.
that's why you're so successful with people in their cabinets, because then they know. They know you've told them this is where your silverware is going to go. This is where your cookies are going to go. I've planned all this out for you.
Order brings calm.
Yes. Let's see. How is the design process going? Working with clients in this time of social distancing? Question from Stephanie. We have completely revamped our process. Thanks for asking, Stephanie. As you can see, we have the technology. Carlie just took us on a tour of her house. We've been doing the same kind of thing with homeowners that are interested in tackling a project. So we're able to connect in this way. I had a kitchen consultation yesterday, just chatting with a couple about what it was that they were hoping to tackle in their kitchen. They kind of spun me around and gave me a little tour. There are apps that we can use. We can recommend what app to use to measure your space. Then that way you don't have to, go old school and get out a tape measure, unless that's something that you prefer to do. We can be flexible in this time, because that's kind of the name of the game right now. It's a new normal.
And I think the other thing that we're doing too is we're creating different like design boards for clients. What's the one? Morfolio?
Morfolio, yep.
Yeah, I was using that one the other day. It was super easy. I actually presented it to my client today via a Zoom meeting, and they were like, oh my gosh, we love everything that you picked. So the next step for us at ACO is to go ahead and get those samples collected for the client, and then we can actually drop them off on their front porch. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's like 2 or 3 options that they want to see. We'll get those samples to you, and then you can view them in your time and give us some feedback.
Yep, it's adapting, right? That's all we can do. We don't have our brand new showroom open to be able to conduct those types of meetings like we usually would. But there are ways that we can get around it. There are ways that we can, like you said, put a design board together and say, here's the inspiration for your new space. And then I'm going to get the samples to you, and I don't have to come into contact with you. We don't have to meet face to face. I don't have to come into your house. The porch is a great plan for that.
Sure is.
Yeah, we've seen some success with it. People have responded well. We've gotten good feedback from our clients, and people seem to be on board. We put everything out there as far as what our new virtual process is like, and gave people the option on our website to say, I want a virtual consultation. And this is what it looks like. I mean, it's a video call, and we're able to get everything.
I don't know if you mentioned that, but our whole new process is on our website. If anyone's interested in checking that out, with links to all the different apps that we can use to help you through the process. So it's just a little different. And everyone jokes, and I joke that I'm probably the most resistant to change, but I think I've done pretty well.
Yeah, I think you've handled it with grace.
Yeah.
Should you put the website up for everybody so they can see what our URL is for the website, and then we can the way you can be directed over there so you can see a look at what our new virtual process is like.
Yeah, and I think if you scroll down a little bit, right? Is that the virtual process? Yeah.
Yeah, the chart is super helpful to say these are the things that we are able to very easily do virtually. And, just a couple steps of the process that require somebody to be in your home. Obviously, the installation. I mentioned earlier the idea of waving a wand. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It's not a reality. But there are so many parts of the process here that we are able to do virtually. And I think it's going well.
Yeah. It really is. I've had some great feedback from clients and from a builder who I think was resistant to reviewing some things via Zoom, but at the end of it, he was like, this was great. This went way better than I ever thought it could have. So.
That's great. It's nice to have feedback like that. And thanks, Erin. He's telling us that it's an awesome way to connect with clients. And I agree. I think that he said it's cool to see us leading the charge on some of this, and we're happy to. Happy to adapt, happy to make the changes that we need to, like I said, continue as unusual. I love that phrase. It's all we can do right now, and we're here for you guys. So any of those spaces that you guys had in your mind when we were talking about it that you think that you might want to tackle, we're here for you, and we can connect in this way. You can fill out the form on our website for more information. You can shoot us a Facebook message. There's lots of ways to get into contact with us. Anything else you want to add, Carlie, before we hop off here?
Gosh, so many thoughts going through my head. No, it's just such a beautiful day outside. I think we've been so lucky the past couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feeling a little more excited than I have been. So
that's good.
Yeah. So I'm glad everyone was able to join us today. And this was our first run. So thank you for being here with us and getting through some of our kinks.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the interaction. And we will be back here next Friday at 2:30. I will be chatting with Todd about Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you.
All right. Have a great day.